chance to do is have a very, very special training by Mr. Julian, Doan, guys. So what you want to be able to do is, if you haven't already, put your mental track shoes on, get a pen and paper out, and most importantly, let's just give the respect and the round of applause that this gentleman deserves. Diamond agent, six-figure ring earner, agency ambassador, Mr. Julian. Doan.
All right. I'm just kidding. I can't dance, right? Most Asian people can't. I mean, I can. There's like arrows on the floor and the little bar behind me that I can dance. Put the cord in the machine and whatnot. But can we give it back to Mr. Alan De Leon for that wonderful introduction? I mean, before we even get on with the training, two individuals that I definitely want to recognize for going out there and really paving the way. Because, ladies and gentlemen, leadership, and that's the topic today, is going out there, developing leaders, all these different things. But leadership, a lot of people think is a position, but it's not. Leadership is an action. Leadership is what you decide to do. And two individuals that I want to give a special shout out to is Mr. Alan De Leon and his mom, for going out there and making it happen, because they were the first ones out here. And that's what vision's all about. Vision is about what you can see before it happens, because they envision a room of people changing lives through Seacret before anybody else was even here. So let's go ahead and give them a round of applause for going out there.
It's my son that really created this. When we started, just like 3 people, then the next one about 5, then after that about 10, and look at it now. Wow.
Yeah!
And honestly, with Alan, I mean, no experience in the industry, just got started, and here's what he did. He didn't wait for anybody to tell him what to do. He went out there, he grabbed the bull by the horns, he made a decision, he went out there and he made it happen. And here's what I want to share with you, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, is that this training is going to change Houston, Texas forever. Right? Because why? Because for those of you that were there at the regional event, what did I share? That we're going to implement a system to advance the momentum here and create Houston as one of the largest marketplaces in all of Seacret. How many of you are going to be okay with that?
Yeah!
Right? And what we talked about on Sunday at the regional event was vision, having vision-oriented building, building with purpose. And today we're going to talk about the second most important topic, and that's going out there and developing leaders. Because why? Because if we want to go out there, we want to make big money, if we want to lead an organization, we don't have a team of 1,000 and then decide to lead. We have to become a leader first before we can have an organization of 1,000. And leadership is everything. Everything rises and falls on leadership. And in a marketplace like this, for us to grow, not only do we need leaders, but this industry demands us to become leaders. And now I know when I first got started, I thought, well, look at my rank. I have nobody yet. My team's not big yet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, understand that you have to become a leader before you can lead people. How many of you want to make a commitment to become a leader? Say, I.
Aye.
Right? And that's what we're going to talk about today. And here's, after this, when you come out of this training, for those of you that have been in this business for a while, a lot of things are going to make sense. And you're going to leave, you know what you're going to say? You're going to say, wow, I know what I need to do now. Because I want to empower you to become independent leaders where you don't wait for someone to come in and change your life. Because why? Because so many of us, we spend our whole entire lives waiting for that one person to come in and change our lives. And how many of you are curious to know why majority of us are not where we want to be at? Say aye. Right? The reason why is because majority of us wait for that one person, and we fail to realize that one person has been there the whole entire time. It was a person sitting in your seat, wearing your clothes, thinking your thoughts. See, the 10 most powerful words in the English dictionary is, if it's to be, it's up to me. Because only you can decide to walk that path. Only you can decide to become a leader. Only you can decide to change your life. Because so many of us wait for that perfect rep to join our business. What if that perfect rep never joins? So many of us wait for that upline to come in and change our lives. What if that person never comes? See, when you build your business dependent on somebody else, what if that person never comes? You're working on someone else's timetable. You're a creature of circumstance. You are the person that waits for things to happen. How many of you want to be the person that doesn't wait for things to happen? You're the person that goes out there and makes things happen. Say aye.
Aye.
And that's what we're going to talk about today, and that's what we're going to do is develop leaders. And this is the training ground. And I kind of want to set the stage for the training because, this is going to be the last training that I'm going to do, and I'm going to see you guys in a month. I leave on Thursday. Aww. Right? I'm just kidding, right? But here's what I want you to understand is have the big vision, big picture. Because some people, they look at an acorn and all they see is an acorn. Some people, they see an acorn and what they see is a tree. But the ones that do big things, they look at an acorn and they see a forest. Because the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and today begins a single step. And what's amazing about it, it's very unique because I'm very humbled, very honored, and privileged because today in this room I have some of my best leaders that started Orange County with me. And we started Orange County. When we started those meetings, there was only about 5-10 people in the room. And I looked at them. I remember after the meeting, they were all sitting down there. You know what I said to them? I sat down with them and we sat down in the seats. And I told them to turn the chairs around. I said, look at this room. This would be the smallest meeting we'll ever have. I know a lot of you have never done network marketing before. You've never experienced this before. But I've built in companies where we filled stadiums. Where we filled rooms 4 or 5 times this size. And I told them, Orange County, you know what this is? This is the boot camp. This is the beginning. This is where you learn and sharpen your skills. And I promise you, when you learn how to build this business, you can go to any state, any city, any country, and you'll be able to build it. I go, there's going to be a time that we're here now, but there's going to be a time we're going to go all build in separate states. We're going to build our own markets. We're going to build our own cities. And you will have rooms bigger than this, and it will be your whole entire organization. That was 1.5 years ago when I first got started. 7 months later, we developed over 8 platinums, the youngest being 19, oldest being 65. We developed over 6 silvers, youngest being 18, oldest being 67. Through this system, and it's amazing because today, I have, 4 individuals that are here. Carl that was there with me in the beginning, he's a platinum agent. Carl, how old are you?
21.
21. Ever did network marketing before? Darlena Royale, 19 now. About to be 19. Andrew Doe, silver. Jay Matsumoto, silver. And what's crazy is we started California together and we shared that vision. Last week, before I came out to Houston, I was in Atlanta, Georgia, with a young gentleman named Calvin Wynn. 18-year-old silver, now 19 years old. The last 7 days, put in over 70 applications of customers and agents in Atlanta, a city where there was nobody there. In the last 7 days, we promoted, last week and a half, we just promoted our first Royale in less than a week and a half. Royale, 22 years old, no experience, over 3 bronzes and 8 superstars. And while he was in Atlanta, Ian Matsumoto, 19-year-old platinum, was building in Los Angeles and put over, in the last 2 weeks, over 30, 40 applications. Their age has nothing to do about it. In fact, their experience has nothing to do about it. This is their first network marketing company. It was the system, and because they became leaders. And I shared with them that vision. I want to share with you the same vision. Because what I told them the other day, and I said, wow, it's crazy because now we're all building in different states. We have Washington, all these different things. We have over hundreds of people in every single room. And it's just crazy because Jay and Andrew came out here. Now, Carl and Darlena came out here. This is a place that I vowed I'll never come back until I was ready, and now I'm here. And it's just crazy how everything came to be because a year ago, in a room of 10 people, we said there will be days where we're going to be building in other cities. Days when we're building in other states. And now I'm here to share with them. I told them the other day there are going to be times now where we're going to be building in other countries. So I want to share with you the same vision. Because right now, a lot of you are brand new. This is your first network marketing company. This is your first experience with Seacret. In fact, this is the biggest you've ever seen Seacret in Houston. But I promise you this will also be the smallest you'll see from this point forward. And for those of you that really commit to the system, for those of you that learn it, that decide to become leaders, make that decision. You know what's going to happen? This, right now, Houston, is going to be your training ground. And the day is going to come where you'll be pioneering other markets. Where everybody in a room like this will be in your organization. So let's set the stage. Can we do that?
Yes.
I want you to imagine that we're not right now in Houston, Texas. I want you to imagine that you saw the training that I'm about to give about 2-3 years ago. And you're now building in a new market that just opened up. You're now a diamond. You're now a 6-figure ring earner. You, right now, where you are. How would you sit? How would you take notes? How would you pay attention? What kind of urgency would you have? That's where you are. And guess what? Every single person that's sitting around you right now is not a sideline. It is your organization. And I'm a guest speaker to your market. Can we all vision that?
Yes.
And I'm going to talk to everybody as if, that it's your team. And so today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to share a training with you that your upline, your leader, had a privilege of seeing several years ago. And I remember sharing the story about if you decide to become a leader, you'll be able to build any market. You'll become a paratrooper, where literally like the people in the army, all you have is a parachute, your tools, your weapons, and we can push you anywhere in any country and you can accomplish the mission. And several years later, because of that training, is why this marketplace is here now. And the person that's leading you guys, I'm telling you, for those of you in the room, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told them. That there's going to come a time and point where you will be in another market. And that room will be your whole entire team. And you're going to be the person leading it. So I encourage you today, pay attention. Take notes. But more importantly, don't let your learning lead to knowledge, let your learning lead to action. Because what I share with them is that what you know doesn't matter. How many of you have ever heard the saying that knowledge is power? How many of you have ever heard that before? That is a lie. How many of you know smart people that are broke?
Yes.
How many of you know smart, wealthy people that are stupid?
Yes.
You're like, I'm looking at one right now. Well, the fact of the matter is not what you know, it's what you do about what you know. Because to know and to not yet do is to not yet know. How many of you can agree with me that two people, that one person that knows the information doesn't apply it, and someone that doesn't know the information is going to get the exact same results? Because not what you know is what you apply. So I'm encouraging you to take notes, pay attention, and more importantly, leave today applying the information, because today we're going to have a serious conversation between you and I. Is that okay? Because you need to become a leader. A leader that takes action, a leader that doesn't need anybody, that's not going to wait for anybody, a leader that's going to go out there and is going to make things happen. Is that okay?
Yes.
Alright, so if you have your mental track shoes on, you guys have your mental track shoes on?
Yes.
Lace those puppies up, because we're about to take this to the next level, okay? If you're ready, say I'm ready.
Ready.
And you guys are awesome. So what is the topic? We're going to talk about leadership. We're going to talk about, number one, how to identify a leader. Because you have to know what a leader looks like, so when you spot one, you know who they are, you know what they are, yes or yes?
Yes.
So we're going to talk about how to identify a leader. We're going to talk about why you want a leader, why a leader is so important. We're going to also be talking about how to attract a leader. How many of you want to attract leaders into your business? Right? How many of you want to attract people that you don't have to motivate? They're already motivated. How many of you want to attract people that are already committed? Attract people that already have an action-oriented mentality.
Yep.
That's what we're going to talk about today. And more importantly, how you can enroll a leader. I want to share with you a story that started off. And what happens is a lot of us, we look at ourselves for where we are, not where we want to go. And a lot of you in this room today, you are the misfits. You are the outcasts. You're the ones that people told you wouldn't make it. You're the ones that when you got involved in this business, they told you were crazy, these things don't work, and you're different, and you are. And a lot of us, when we compare ourselves to 95% of people, it can be heartbreaking because they're judging us. And a lot of times we grow up feeling inferior. We grow up feeling there's something missing, that we're not good enough. And I want to share with you, you are different. You're not like everybody else. You're here for a reason. You're here because you recognize something that most people are not able to recognize. There's a reason why that 97% of Americans would not be in a room like this right now. What are most people doing? They're at home watching TV, drinking a beer, and worrying about what they're going to do this weekend. They're not bettering their lives. You're here. You're different. And I want to show you this story. Down on this farm of chickens, one day, we found an egg. And this egg was a little bit bigger than all the other chicken eggs. And there's one mama chicken. Call her hen, right? Nobody else wanted this giant egg. Nobody wanted to claim it. And there's this hen that she couldn't lay eggs. There was something wrong with her. She couldn't lay eggs. And then one day she found this giant egg when nobody wanted it. She took it in. She nurtured it. And guess what? Hatched out this giant bird. And all the chickens laughed at it. All the chickens said, look at this chicken. Look how big its beak is. Look how long its claws are. Look how big its wings are. And that chicken began to talk, and people said, man, look at that chicken. That chicken doesn't even talk right. And you know what the mom said? The mom said, it's okay. Don't pay attention to them. You're going to be great one day. You're going to be great one day. And this chicken, as it grew up, it was larger than all the other chickens. It sounded different than all the other chickens. Its wings were different colors. Its wings was even bigger. And its whole entire life, when it played with all the other little chickadees or whatever they call it, right? Guess what? Everybody laughed at him and said, you're different. Get away from us. You're crazy. You're not like us. Go away. How many of you ever felt like that before?
Yeah.
And that's how it felt growing up. And you know what? This chicken had crazy dreams, had a vision. How many of you had a vision? You told your friends about your goals, your dreams, they just laughed at you about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
This chicken had a crazy dream, said, one day, I'm going to be able to fly. I want to fly one day. And all the other chickens laughed and said, what are you talking about? Chickens don't fly. You're crazy. You'll never do it. Look at him. He wants to fly, right? Have you ever felt like that way before? Maybe not in the business, right? But even when you were a kid, growing up, you were different. You had these goals and dreams, and people laughed at you. How many of you ever had someone laugh at you before?
Yeah.
Raise your hand loud and proud.
Yeah.
See, that's not what makes you different. That makes you qualified for success. We all have that in common. That's what the chicken went through. And then one day, the chicken got so fed up. It got teased by all the other chickens. They laughed at it, pulled this huge prank on it. And it ran away into the forest. And it ran away into the forest. It was there. It's crying. I don't know how chickens can cry, but it was crying. Just imagine that with me, okay? This chicken's crying. And then one day, as it's sitting there, it's just crying. It heard this loud caw. Caw, right? And it sounded so familiar. And that chicken looked up in the sky and it saw another chicken just like it. With long wings. It talked just like it. And it's almost like a dream. It says, wow, I've always dreamt of flying. And it saw a chicken in the sky that looks just like him. That talked just like him with wings as big as his, flying. And he called for that chicken to come down and say, hey, you, come here. Come here. And that chicken looked down and flew down. And he says, how do you do that? It looked at him like, what are you talking about? How can you fly? Chickens aren't meant to fly. You look like me. Your beak is as big as mine is. Your wings are as big as mine. How are you able to do that? I thought I was the only one. You're a chicken like me. I got to take you back to show you to everybody else. There's someone like me. And you know what that person said? What are you talking about? I'm not a chicken. You think you're a chicken? You're an eagle. Of course chickens don't fly. Eagles fly. And you know what it did? That eagle taught that eagle how to fly. And a lot of us, we feel like we're outcasts our whole entire lives because we are different. And what makes us different is our strength. Why be like everybody else, like the chickens, when you're meant to fly? And that's what this industry allows us to do, is understand our true potential, to realize that we're different. Because if we were everybody else, we'd be part of the 95%, not the 5%. So today we're going to share with you that you are different. That's why you're here for a reason. While everybody else could be somewhere else, you're here. And that today we're going to help you spread your wings and fly. Is that okay?
Yes.
So let's go ahead and talk about it, right? So doing that, how to identify it. Right? So how do you do that, right? How to identify a leader. You have to know what a leader looks like, so when they show up, you can say, man, that's a leader. So how do you, definition of a leader? Definition of leader in Seacret. See, leaders in Seacret are able to do certain things. See, in the very beginning, your natural excitement will be able to get you results, but there comes a point where skill and ability comes into play. Now, here's the thing about skills and ability. You can learn it. How do you learn it? By surrounding yourself with people that are better than you. By surrounding yourself with people that are doing those things. Why? Because if you have to wait for your upline to always do things for you, what if they're not available? But what if you learn it? You can do it on your time. How many of you want to become successful on your time, not someone else's time? Say I.
Aye.
So what do we do? Leaders, what are they able to do? Leaders are able to do presentations. What's crazy about it is this PowerPoint, I designed it about 6 months ago, and that was Mr. Andrew Doe's first presentation in a home. And I said, Andrew, this might be your first presentation, but it won't be your last, and there's going to come a day where you're going to speak in front of hundreds of people. It's not going to be in a room, right, like this. It's not going to be in a home. It's going to be an office. It's going to be in a hotel. Because leaders are able to show the presentation. They're able to show the plan. They're able to talk about the business. What are leaders able to do? They're able to train. They're able to launch people. So you have to rank yourself. What can you do? And here's what's amazing. We can all learn how to do this, yes or yes?
Yes.
Now leaders, what else do they have? They have good attitude in front of obstacles and problems. Not good attitudes when things are going well. Anybody can be happy and excited when things are going well. But a true test of leader is, what is your mentality? What is your excitement when things are going wrong? How do you look at things? That's what a leader is. They're able to maintain a good attitude. You know what leaders are also able to do? They're able to promote for events. They're able to promote local, regional, and international events, because these events are the glue to building your business. Why? Because these events, what do? They build knowledge. And when it builds knowledge, what happens? What does it do? It builds belief, yes or yes?
Yep.
And belief creates effort. Effort creates results. How many of you want to have results by show of hands? How many of you can agree that if more people learn this business, more people would have results?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why we got to make sure people plug into these events. We got to make sure these events grow. Here's a crazy thought. Look around the room. If everybody in this room just brought one newer person next Tuesday, we would double this room. That's how simple it is. Look in your business. Some of us, man, you know how easy this business is? If everybody in mine and Dennis's team just recruited one more person, I mean, we'd probably be a crown by now. That's how simple it is. If everybody just did one. But what's easy to do is also easy what? Not to do. But here's what I can tell you. You cannot expect anything of others if you're not willing to give it yourself. So these are what leaders are able to do. To promote for events. So guess what we should do? We should become a leader. We should learn these things. Make a commitment to do it. We have all the resources. What are the qualities of a leader? Now, what's amazing about it, here's what I want to share with you, okay? Is that attitude is everything. See, a lot of us, we want to experience a breakthrough. How many of you, by show of hands, want to experience a breakthrough in your business? Say aye.
Aye.
No matter where you're at, we all want a breakthrough, but here's what we think. We think a breakthrough, we think results comes from action. But that's only half the equation. It starts with our attitude. Because our attitude will determine our potential. And from our potential, when we go out there and take the action, will we get the results? So what happens is when people aren't getting results, you know what the fastest thing a leader should say, always says? Talk to more people. Show more people the product. But if their mindset's not the right place, if their attitude's not the right place, guess what? It's going to show in their action, true or not true. So everything is an attitude, but you know what's crazy about an attitude? If I went around the room and I asked each and every one of you, what are the qualities of a leader that makes a leader successful? Everything you would name would be an attitude and not an ability. Do you think what makes Dennis so successful in this business is his ability to do wow parties? No, it's his confidence, his belief in people. It's his ability to show the plan, to show the business, and to get people to believe in themselves to go out there and create the results. Because products don't move products. In fact, people don't move products. But guess what most people in network marketing do? They focus on teaching their people how to move products. But that won't matter if people aren't moved. Because people who are moved move products. So what are the qualities of a leader? Number one, leaders are hungry for success. They're hungry for it. They don't wait around for it. They want it. That's called desire. Desire is the starting point of all achievement. How bad is your desire? Not only that, but guess what? Leaders are thirsty for knowledge. They understand that there's things they need to learn, things they need to develop, and they welcome it. They master their craft. They become a student of the business. For your notes, work on your work. Work on your work. Sharpen your sword. But then guess what? Go out there and take action. There's no point in being the sharpest tool in the shed if you're still in the shed. How many of you can agree?
Yeah.
So you got to go out there and take action. But leaders are thirsty for knowledge. Guess what? Leaders attend events. I've never met a leader that didn't show up to events that became successful. I've seen people go to events and not become successful, but I've never seen anyone not go to an event and become successful. Dennis, in your whole experience, have you ever seen anybody not plug into events and become successful? No. Doesn't happen. Because there's something special that happens at these events. It raises their belief. When all those people stood up and they got recognized for all their promotions, when people shared their testimonials, you shared their stories, you know what happens? When you let your light shine, you give other people permission to let their light shine. And that's what we do here. We remove self-limiting beliefs by showing people that other people can do it. So attend events. Guess what? Leaders have an exceptional work ethic. There's no way around that. Wisdom and faith uninvested in labor is wasted. It doesn't matter about what you know if you don't apply it. So you're going to have to go out there and do work. But you know what's amazing about this business? Is a lot of us will go out there, do work and outside of our business, and we'll always go around in circles and never get anywhere. How many of you ever seen a hamster on a wheel before?
Yeah.
What do? They wake up, they go on the wheel, they exert all the energy, they're tired, and they go to sleep. They wake up and they do the same thing over and over again. Yes or yes?
Yes.
You know what's crazy? Most people, they wake up where? Home. And then where do they go? Work. And then where do they go? Home. Home. Where do they go after that? Work. Home. Work. Home. Work. Like a hamster on a wheel. But in our business, work ethic, here's what happens. In our business, in the very beginning, you're going to put more work in than you're going to get paid for. It's a business. But as you build it consistently, that's the key word, consistently. Not when you feel like it, but consistently, what happens is you're going to get out of it exactly what you put into it. And as you continue to build it consistently, it will come to the magic moment where you will get more out of it than you put into it. But do you know where it takes? In your business, there's certain time periods where you have to work twice as hard than you normally would. But if you seize that moment of opportunity, you know what will happen? There will come a point where you will reap so much reward with so little effort. And you know where that is? It's in the beginning. And I would write this down in your notes. This business is easier to build fast than slow. You take a look at an airplane. How does an airplane get off the ground? How does a rocket get from outer space? It's launched. And when it's launched, how much energy do you think it puts into the launch? 100%. So when you're starting the business, guess what kind of energy you got to put in? 100%. Not time, but energy. The quality of time you put it, you give it your all to get it off the ground. But once an airplane gets off the ground, how much energy do you give it? You take it a little bit back. So how many of you can agree that an airplane taking off the ground from Houston to California, it has to give it 100% to even leave the ground? True or not true?
True.
But what would happen if you gave it 100% the whole entire way? It would run out of fuel and it would crash. So in the business, guess what you do? You give it 100% so you go off the ground. And that's when you start maintaining your business. You go out there, you implement the systems, you launch, you train, you quality control. And once they understand it, guess what? Then you exert it a little bit more. Then you exert it a little more. But here's what you remember. As you take off the ground, what do you experience? Turbulence. Challenges and obstacles, they're necessary. This is what happens to let you know you're going to another level. So you have to understand that it's going to take work. Guess what? Leaders have influence with people. Leaders don't manipulate people. Leaders have influence with people. People go, how do you influence people? You care about them. Because if people know that you care, guess what? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. When you have people's best interests in mind, guess what? They will run to the ends of the earth with you. My mentor taught me, he goes, Julian, if you want to succeed, you have to find people that will be willing to cut off their right arm for you. But in return, they must know that you're willing to cut off both arms for them. That's what true leadership is where your people know that whatever you ask of them, you're willing to give them twice as much. See, people often think that leadership, and the secret of leadership is getting the people to believe in the people to believe in the leader. That's not where the magic happens. The magic doesn't happen when the people believe in the leader. The magic happens when the leader believes in the people. And they ask me, well, how do you take anybody that's 18, 19, have them have results? It's because my first 5 years, I didn't make any money. My first 5 years in network marketing, I didn't make any money. I showed up to all the trainings. I showed up to all the presentations. I took all the notes. I surrounded myself with all the leaders. And I asked them the weird questions like, what's the one thing you can tell me that can change my life? Oh, can you start my journal? I did all that. And I spent my whole entire life looking all around me to find the answers. Until one day I realized the answer I was looking for, the reason why I never found it was already within me. And what I want to share with you is, if you already know how to explain the products, you already know how to show the plan, there's nothing else you need to learn. You just got to work the plan.
Right.
That's all it is. Here's what's crazy about it. The only thing you're missing is the realization that you're not missing anything. Because you're not. You already have it within you. That's what this business is. You already have what it takes. But guess what? It's going to take all that you got. So guess what? Leaders have influence with people. Leaders are coachable. There's no way around it. Leaders are coachable. Every great master is once a great student. But guess what? Every great master is still a great student. So you got to be coachable. Why? Because if you never built this business before, learn it from the people that have already done it. Learn from the people that already have the results. Because if we give you bad advice, will it hurt your paycheck? But will it hurt our paycheck? Yeah, so be coachable. Can you imagine if you want to be great at basketball, Kobe Bryant comes in and says, hey, let me teach you how to shoot a jump shot. Would you be like, nah, Kobe, I got it? No, you'd be coachable. And guess what? Here's the same deal. You have a gentleman like Mr. Dennis who came from the financial industry, who understands money, who understands assets, who understands generational wealth, who in his previous company, he's very humble, very modest, doesn't talk a lot about himself, but I'm going to do it for him. In his previous company, he made $500,000 a year. In network marketing, can he teach you how to build this business? How many of you want to succeed in this business? Say aye.
Aye.
And then somebody who makes $500,000 a year in this industry comes to you and tries to show you how to do it, but you question it and say, nah, I got something better. How many of you can agree that sounds kind of foolish?
Yes.
How many of you can agree that's what some of us do?
Yeah.
So become coachable. Lower your pride, lower your ego, and get into the program and just learn how to do it so we can all win together. That's what happens. Right? Leaders handle and solve problems quickly. They handle and solve problems quickly. They don't let things build up. They talk about it, they get it over with, and they handle it right away. So what do leaders do? Let's talk about it. What do leaders do? Number one, leaders are constantly developing themselves. They're constantly developing themselves. Even the sharpest sword will become dull. So you got to constantly develop yourself. Guess what Jim Rohn says? If you want more, you got to become what? More. That's the secret. You got to constantly be developing yourself. Where I'm at right now, here's what I realized. When I got the six-figure ring, I realized if I kept doing what I've always done, I'll only be stuck at the six-figure ring. But if I work harder and I become better and I lead by a better example, then I'll make more money than I've always made. Because so many of us, we get involved in this industry, we come into this business the same way we were. And we expect to succeed. But the reality is we get paid based on the value that we bring into it. So we got to invest into our professional education and we got to develop ourselves. And guess what you're doing right now? You're developing yourselves. When you read a book, guess what you're doing? You're developing yourself.
Right.
All these things that I share with you, a lot of these quotes, a lot of these things, people, man, how did you remember it? How do you Fran always asks me, how do you know all this stuff? You're like an encyclopedia. And I'm just like, no, I've just been in every training for 5 years. That I've been a good collector of great ideas. And here's the thing, even though I didn't make money at that time, what I didn't realize is that I was mentally preparing myself for the day that came. And guess what happened? When that day came and that opportunity came, guess what? I seized that moment. Because it's better to be prepared with no opportunity than have an opportunity not be prepared.
Yep.
Some of you are like, man, I don't have a team yet. Thank God. Because if they joined, what would you do? So it's better to be prepared now, to lead ourselves first before we lead anybody else. So once we have a team, we know what to do. We know how to help them. That's what it's all about, helping people. What is value? Helping people before we help ourselves. So leaders are constantly developing themselves. Guess what? Leaders take action. That's important. Action is the key to success. Action is the bridge between vision and accomplishment. Because if you don't take action, guess what? That goal, that vision is just a wish. It's never going to happen. See, I love The Secret and I hate The Secret. How many of you have ever seen The Secret before? Law of attraction, right?
Yeah.
And Law of attraction, The Secret's only half the answer. They teach you, you know what The Secret teaches you? Just think about it and it'll come. Here's what I can tell you. You can go into a garden, sit there, close your eyes and say, there are no weeds, there are no weeds. The weeds will still be there. Because the reality is, number one, you got to ask. That's a law of attraction. Think about what you want. But number two is receive. But receive doesn't mean you just sit there and wait. Receive means you put yourself in the position to receive what you want. You still have to go after it. You know what's crazy? The power of prayer. Wish, goals, dreams. You know what happens? They do come true. Wishes come true. Prayers are answered, but not in the way that we look for it. Whether you believe in the universe, law of attraction, God, whatever it is, guess what? If you ask and you pray God for strength, God doesn't give you strength. He gives you an opportunity to be strong. If you pray for what? Wisdom, God doesn't give you wisdom. He gives you an opportunity to gain wisdom. If you ask for courage, God doesn't give you courage. He gives you an opportunity to be courageous. That's what they do. They gave us an opportunity. What we do with that is up to us. And that's what Dennis shared on Sunday. God gets you up to the plate, but what you do is up to you. And here's what happens. A lot of times when we have goals, we have wishes, we pray. It doesn't fall in our lap, but it does fall somewhere close by. It's up to us to go out there and reach and find it. But so many of us are not willing to go out there and find it, and that's why we don't have it. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open for you. But here's also what I learned. If you don't ask, the answer will always be no. If you don't try, you've already failed. So guess what? You have to take action. Guess what action you should take? Some action. Any action is better than no action. Any action, putting one foot in front of the other. What is success? Small action and small steps repeated over time. It might seem small, it might seem insignificant, but guess what? Small drops of air, puffs of water, guess what? Both seem insignificant, but you put that in the right combination, the right amount of times, you know what it creates? It creates a hurricane. And that's what happens when you go on the conference calls. That's what happens when you go to the trainings, secret universities. You show the plan. It might be insignificant. It might be small steps. So guess what? All that will create momentum, and your business will turn into an unstoppable hurricane. So you got to take action. Guess what? Leaders also have passion and intensity. That's what it's all about, passion. And then when people ask me, it's like, how do you get people excited? You don't. How do you get people motivated? You don't. Excited people get people excited. You can't give anything to anybody that they don't have in themselves. And you know what people are looking for? Passion. They say the most powerful weapon on earth is a human soul on fire. And so many of us have passions that the fire has been dim. And guess what? Why did you get started? Because you met someone who showed you the business that was excited and was passionate, that knew where they wanted to go. And what did it do? It sparked something in you. Like a moth to a flame, you were attracted to the business. You didn't know what it was. And as you begin to plug in, you start realizing, oh my gosh, that's why. All these goals, all these dreams I put in the back burner, all these things I forgot about, I can have it here. And all of a sudden you can start dreaming again. Do you guys remember that point when you start dreaming again?
Yes.
Where all of a sudden it's like, man, it would be pretty cool to get a Lamborghini. It would be pretty cool to take a trip here. And then you start dreaming, you start thinking about all the possibilities. Well, guess what? That's where passion and intensity comes from. Urgency. You have to have urgency. Now, I believe people have different philosophies, but I believe everything you do, you should have urgency, because time is not on your side. You're doing this for your parents. Guess what? Every day your parents are getting older. Do you know when your parents are going to die? So why would you want to take that risk? Why not work hard now, get it over with? You have to work hard anyway so we can spend the rest of our lives taking care of our family.
That's right.
Yes.
Because it's important to take advantage of the opportunity of a lifetime in the lifetime of the opportunity. Just because you're at the right place at the right time doesn't guarantee your success. You have to take the action. You have to do it. Because opportunity, it's very, very tricky. It'll creep up on you slow like a snail, but guess what? If you're not careful, it'll pass you by like a speeding bullet. Do you want to let that moment pass you by?
No.
So you got to take it when it's here. So you're like, but I'm scared. Don't be scared. Be scared of being broke. Being scared of never taking care of your family. Being scared of never living out your goals or your dreams. I think that's more scary than talking to people. I think that's more scary than not showing people the product. So it's all about changing that. So have passion. Why? Because most people out there don't have passion. They're looking for something. Guess what? Leaders finish strong. It's not about starting. It's about finishing. It's not how you start. It's how you what? Finish. See, this is all stuff that we already know. But it's time for us to believe it and live it. It's not how you start. It's how you finish. My first 5 years, I didn't make any money. My first year in Seacret, I cleared over $300,000 between me and my significant other. What would have happened if I would have quit year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5? My first 6 months of 7 platinums I promoted, the 6 silvers that I promoted, that happened my 7th year in this industry. What would have happened to their lives and where they would be if I quit year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, or year 7? How many of you have ever had that thought? Man, I don't even know where I'd be if it wasn't for Seacret.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's what's crazier. Where would you be if someone who introduced it to you never had the courage to get started on the opportunity to call you? Do you know how many people that you know that are hurting right now? Do you know how many people you know right now that are looking for something? And you're scared when they're scared of how to pay their bills. They don't know how their mortgage is going to be taken care of. They don't know how they're going to spend time with their kids. And they're looking and they're praying for an opportunity. And here you have one, but you're scared of what they think of you. You're the one with value to offer to them. Be excited and go out there and talk to them. You're like, but what if they say no? What if they say no? If I had a box, and I put a diamond in it that's worth millions of dollars, and I wrapped it up very nice, and I gave it to Alan, and Alan said no, does that take away the value of the diamond? Does that diamond all of a sudden not worth millions anymore? Well, guess what? We have a beautiful opportunity in a box called Seacret, and you offer to somebody. If Alan says no, does that take away the value of the opportunity?
No.
Because true or not true, we're still going to become wealthy.
Yes.
So that's why you got to finish strong. You got to know that, right? Turn to shouldn't to must. You have to have written commitments. That is the major difference. Is when you make a commitment, you write it down on paper, it becomes real. Not in your mind, on paper. It becomes permanent. Guess what? Leaders, what they also do is they place their agent's success ahead of their own. They place their agent's success ahead of their own. The sweet spot. See, sports is a term called the sweet spot, right? On a baseball bat, if you're in the right spot, home runs all day long. On a golf club, guess what? You'll hit it hundreds of yards every single time. The sweet spot on a basketball court, no matter where you are, you shoot it, it's always going to go in. You know what the sweet spot in our business is? It's serving others. It's helping people.
Wow.
Zig Ziglar said it, helping other people get what they want. Y'all might get what?
You
want. Now we know it, but why don't we do it? These are philosophies that they share all the time in network marketing. Well, stop talking about, start living it. You know what's scarier, what's crazier? I'm going to tell you something right now. Placing your agents ahead of your own is going to help you make a lot of money. If you help enough people get what they want, y'all get what you want, I can prove it to you. Are you ready?
Yes. Ready.
When you help somebody on your pay side make $1, you make $3. You're like, how's that possible? Because while your downline in your pay side only gets paid 15% of its pay side, you get paid 15% of their strong side and their pay side. So if you focus on you making money, guess what? At the end of the day, the worst case scenario is you're the only one making money. But if Alan's under me and he's on my pay side and I help Alan make $1, guess what? I don't worry about my money. I just worry about his money, his success. When he makes $1, I make $3 automatically. What if we did that for every single person on our team? We put their success ahead of our own. Where would we be? You know what's crazy? Some people are like, man, I come here, it's time away from my family. My wife, my kids, my favorite TV shows. Don't you think Dennis has family? Don't you think I have family? But who are we here for? We're already making multiple six figures. Do you think we need to be here? Why are we here? To pay it forward to you. While you have family, we have family. While you're spending time away from family, guess what? So are we. But why are we here? For you. Because we know if we can help you accomplish it, there's going to come a time point where we don't have to be here. We can go do our vision and continue to live in the rest of our life that we deserve. And you're going to be the ones paying it forward to other people.
Right.
So I want you to understand why you sacrifice, so do we. What is it for? For the greater good. So we place our agents ahead of our own. Because someone did it for us, where would we be if we weren't good enough to do that for somebody else? When I became successful, I looked at Tim Herr, and I was so grateful. I made money in other companies, but I was never happy with who I am. Those companies made me force and change myself, and the Bible says, what if you went after the world and it cost you your soul? Be careful who you become in pursuit of what you want. And I was making money, but I wasn't happy with who I was. Right? Trying to sell a dream, but living a nightmare where I could eat, but my people couldn't eat. And I left that company, not because I lacked integrity, because I wanted to maintain integrity. And when I left, after 1 year, my life changed. I got to respect my family. When I got my six-figure ring, I brought my parents on the stage to look at them and say, you raised a great kid, and give back to them for everything they gave to me. In that moment, I looked at Mr. Tim Herr, and I said, Tim, I don't know how I could ever repay you. You know what he said to me? He goes, Julian, you don't get it. I'm going to tell you what my mentor told me, is that I did this for you because someone did this to me, and your job's not to pay it back. Your job is to pay it forward. Now that you become successful, it becomes a gift where now you can go out there and help other people do the same thing. See, number one, it's necessary for you to become, it's possible for you to become successful, but it's necessary. Not for you, but for other people that have gone what you've gone through. Here's what's crazy. How many of you have ever heard of speakers speak before, and they share their story, their challenges, and you said to yourself, man, I'm going through the same thing. And you say, man, that was an inspiration. Because of them, I'm going to stay in a little bit longer. Because of them, I'm not going to quit. How many of you have ever experienced that before?
Yes.
Don't you think when you make it, you're going to serve the same example for others? Yes. Why do you think you're going through what you go through? So later on when you build a team and they've gone through what you've gone through, you can look at them and say, man, I've been there and I've conquered it. Let me show you how I do it. Take my hand. That's the burden of leadership, that we go through things so we can teach others so they don't have to go through it. That's what it is. So why do you want a leader? Levels of influence, right? Right? Now understand there's different types of people, right? People that you look up to, right? People that look up to you, right? People that are on the same level as you, right? And then also, guess what? People you look up to. But here's the deal. There's 5 levels of leadership. See, the first one is people follow you because they feel like they have to. Right? They feel like they have to. That's like a boss. Where you only listen to a boss, you don't respect your boss, you don't like your boss, but you listen to it because they're your boss. Or maybe you just got started because that's your sponsor, that's your upline. People follow you because they have to. Number 2 is people follow you because they want to, because they like you. That's level 2. Level 3, level 3 is people follow you for what you've accomplished for yourself, your story, your testimony. Level 4 is people follow you for what you've done for the organization, your track record. But level 5 is where you want to get to. Level 5 is people follow you for who you are and what you represent. Me and Dennis have been taught in the industry that you follow people that have the results. And so many people think, oh, it's people that are making more money than you, all this stuff. But guess what? Isaac Ben-Shabbat, he's wealthy, but he's never built network marketing. Do you know why you follow him? Because of who he is and what he represents. You want people to look at you and say, man, you know what a mentor is? A mentor is not a teacher, it's not a position, not a title. A true mentor is someone that makes you want to live your life better just because of how they live their life. Where when people watch you, you're the example. They say, man, that's how I want to live my life. How many of you can agree that people are copying people anyways? Yes or yes?
Yes.
Right? It's a copycat business. Just make sure you're copying the right cat. What are people learning from you? Are they learning to become better or are they learning to become worse? Right? Think about children, how impressionable they are. Guess what? People are the same way. So become a leader that people follow because who you are and who you represent. I follow Dennis because who he is and what he represents. And that's what it's all about, right? So as we move forward, how to attract a leader. Right? Number 1, how to attract a leader. Success is not something you pursue. Success is something you attract by who you become.
Right.
And what happens is, guess what? People chase success. They pursue success and never find it. Why? Because success is not something you chase. Something you attract. So how do you do it? You got to become an attractive person. Right? So how do you do it? You must be the leader you want to attract. You got to become the person you want to attract because birds of a feather flock what? Together. What do we hear from the first story? Guess what? Eagles don't hang out with chickens. If you want an eagle, you got to become a what? Eagle. So guess what? You got to become the leader you want to attract. And here's the deal. I know in this room, no one experiences this, and it's great. Most people in this company don't experience it. But you know what happens? Most people in network marketing, what they say? My leader, my sponsor, my sponsor did this, no spillover this. Who cares? Stop complaining about gifts from above. Be the person that creates gifts below. If you are upset because of upline or a sponsor, then you know the right thing to do, then guess what you do? You become the leader you want to attract. What kind of leader would you want to follow? Be that leader. How many of you can agree that you would want a leader that's responsible? A leader that's commitment. A leader that doesn't make excuses. Well, guess what? If you want that person to join your business, guess what? Do you think someone that's responsible will be attracted to somebody and follow someone that's irresponsible? You want someone that's confident. Do you think a confident leader would follow someone that's not confident?
Nope.
So you got to become the leader you want to attract. Not fake it till you make it, but act as if. Because if you act as if, the confidence, the strength will come. Right? What did Muhammad Ali say? I knew I was the best before I even knew I was. You got to. So ask yourself, do you set an example for your team? Do you lead from the front? Are you the person that's in there day in and day out? You know when I started doing that, I was inspired by Dennis. I would go on Instagram, Facebook, and all I would see is Dennis, like another one-on-one, another sit-down, just met another leader. And I said, man, that's so powerful. You know why? Because every time I saw that, I got inspired. I'm like, here's Dennis, a leader that's already making 6 figures, has leaders that are already very successful, about to pop his first 6-figure leader, and yet he's still going out there doing sit-downs, still doing one-on-ones. You know what's crazy? That's what it's about. That inspires people when they know that their leader is doing exactly what they're asking them to do, in fact, doing it more and leading it by example. So you got to lead by example. Or do you lead from an ivory tower, calling the shots from some far-off place? What did Jim Rohn say? It's called let's go do it, not you go do it. I used to work with uplines that tell me what to do, and I never saw them do one-on-one. I never saw them do one meeting. How demotivating is it when someone tells you what to do and you know they're not doing it themselves? Now, what would happen if someone that's doing what they're asking you to do tells you to do it and you know you're not doing it? You might be upset, you might get sad, but you're like, dang, they are doing it.
Yeah.
So you got to set the example. Do you dress professionally? And here's the deal. Secret's amazing, right? So it's a little bit different. When we say dress professionally, it means dress smart. Dress perfect for the occasion, right? Dress professionally, right? You know what I mean? Women, great. Everybody looks great, right? Don't dress like you're going to a club. Does that make sense? It's called Seacret, not Victoria's Secret, but we don't have a problem with that. So that's good. No, you don't understand. When I started my meeting in Orange County, I used to freak out when I go to meetings, right? I'm like, no, you cannot dress like that, right? So you can dress professionally, right? Why? Because here's the deal. People judge you. Now, when I say dress professionally, guess what? You don't have to wear a full suit, full tie. But you got to dress where you're confident. Where someone sees you, they know that you know what you're talking about and you look sharp. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So dress appropriately, right? Here's the deal. Do you speak with confidence? Do you speak with confidence? When you speak, when you talk to people, does it make them feel better? Does it encourage them? Does it empower them? That's what leaders do. They speak confidence. They speak truth into you. They help you see you for who you can be. And guess what? They dig deep inside of you and pull that out. So do you speak with confidence? Do you speak with conviction? Because that's where it comes from. To lead people, you got to be confident. You got to have conviction. Do you know why Dennis can sign up any networker? Because he believes he can sign up any networker. You're like, is it that simple? Yeah. Why can Dennis sign up anybody, all the people that want to sign up in Seacret? Because he already knows when he sits down with somebody, he knows what the reality is. We know what the reality is, yes or yes?
Yes.
The reality is what? 95% of people will live paycheck to paycheck. They'll either be dead or dead broke or still working at 65. Do we know that?
Yes.
So that means every single person we talk to, guess what? 95 out of 100 of them, is that a lot?
Yeah.
95 out of 100 people you show this business to will either be dead broke, or still working at age 65. So no matter who they are that sits down in front of you, do you have something better?
Yes.
Then how can you not be confident? How can you not have conviction? Man, when I sit down with somebody, you know what I'm saying? Man, I can't wait to sit down with this person because I know they have something that I can offer them.
Right.
How do you think they feel sitting down with me? How do you think people sit down when they feel Dennis? See, Dennis has this way of recruiting networkers, and it's genius. These 3 questions, and they're so confident because what it does is it speaks truth. It's reality. It's not like hype or anything. It's truth. And he knows that those 3 questions, when he asks any networker, that majority of the time their company will not pass those questions, but our company passes it. So he's so confident that when he shows it to people, guess what? They see that we have something better, and he knows that every single day.
Right.
It's like having, imagine flipping a coin. You have the heads or tails, and it's a double-headed coin. You know you're going to win every single time. How confident would you be? It's like, hey, let's flip for it. Guess what? That's the kind of opportunity we have. That no matter where we flip, it's a double-headed coin. We're going to win every single time. But do you believe in that?
Yep.
Our products, how many of you can agree with me that over $185 billion that's being spent every single year, that's going to grow to $235 billion, that people are already spending that money anyways, yes or yes?
Yes.
I studied the top 10 network marketing companies. They're all skincare. All the billion-dollar companies and all the top, and some of the companies reached 10 billion. Do you know how they did it? They didn't create a market. Some people think it's about creating a market. No, what these companies did was they entered an existing market and they released a superior product. They entered a market where people are already spending the money and they redirected it with something better. Do we have something better?
Yes.
Then why would you be scared at a WOW party? I'm scared, what if they don't like it? Of course they're going to like it. It's better than anything else they have.
Right.
Do you see when you operate that level of strength and conviction, how you'll have results? It's that simple. But how do you have other people do that? You do that yourself. Okay? So as we move forward, I'm almost done. Right? Bum, 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 bum. Laws of the lid. Guess what? You can only attract people with the same level of commitment and growth you have. This is just the truth. Imagine on a scale from 1 to 10. If you are a 5, what do you think are your chances that a level 6 or 7 will sign up with you without you bringing a level 10 to help you do it? So you have 2 options. Either you can find a level 10 to recruit those people that are higher level than you, or you can learn, grow, and develop yourself to become that higher level. Here's what I know. If I built a business where I depend on somebody else, what if that person never came? So you want to attract better people, you got to become a better person. Because again, success is not something you pursue, something you what? Attract.
Attract.
So you can only attract people with the same level of commitment and growth you have. You're like, how do I get people more motivated? You become more motivated. How do I get people more committed? You become more committed. It starts with you. That's what a leader is. A leader does what? Lead. If you're not leading, you're not a leader. So you got to lead. And that's not your title. I've seen star builders, bronzes, in our company that are better leaders than other people in other companies make 5 figures a month. Leadership is not a title. Are you someone that just hit the requirement, or are you an actual leader? And do you know where it starts? Right here in this room. It starts with us doing what we know we're supposed to do. And that's what it's all about. Guess what? We grow as a leader to attract other leaders to your business. Your work ethic will succeed when your talent fails you. So many people rely on their talent. And you know what I learned? That talent is not enough. Talent is not enough. You have your work ethic. Your work ethic will succeed when your talent fails you. There are some of you in this room that were not great students, you were not smart, things did not come easy for you, but you worked and studied your butt off, and you got better grades than other people that had things come naturally to them. So what does that mean? It's not about how good you are, it's how hard you work. Because you make up in numbers what you lack in what? Skill. We already know this. Work ethic. But what would happen if you had the skill and you worked hard? You ever thought about that? Jim Rohn says, right? I talk to 10 and get 1. You talk to 10 and get 9. Give me a 30-day competition, I'll beat you. Because while you're talking to 10 and get 9, I'll talk to 100 and get 100. What if the person talks to 10 and get 9 went out there and talked to 100? They'll get 99. I don't know the numbers, but you understand what I'm saying? Work hard. Your work ethic will succeed when your talent fails you. Your level of standards, how you operate. Don't be settled. Don't settle with just enough. Have more. Do more. Okay? Is this useful information?
Yes.
Okay? So law of process. Here's what you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen. We talk about this. Success is not a destination. It's a journey. And you got to enjoy the process. Leadership is not something you develop in a day. It's something that you develop daily. It's a continued process. See, so many of us, the reason why we don't succeed is because we trick ourselves. We put so much value into the outcome instead of the process. We confuse success with recognition success. Do you think Mr. Dennis, Fran, and myself became a success when we got our 6-figure rings? No, we were a success every day we woke up and we went out there, we gave it our best. We became a success every time we did meetings when we didn't want to do meetings. We became a success every time we did meetings when we would rather have been eating. We became a success, guess what? When we showed up to the trainings when we didn't want to. You become a success every day you make a decision to move forward. And in the end, you get recognized with the ring. Those of you that graduated school, did you become a success when you got the diploma? No, you became a success when you showed up to class when you didn't want to. You became a success when you stayed home and studied when everybody else went to party. That's when you became a success. Champions aren't made in the ring, they're recognized there. And here's what I learned. The more you sweat in training, the less you bleed on the field. That's why you work on your work. And guess what? It's a process. How do you do that? You listen, you learn, and then you lead. Here's what leadership is. Leadership is learning. First step is to grab the baton. Leadership is a relay race. As a leader, your first step is, guess what? When it's your turn, when it's your time, when it's your chance to grab the baton. And the reason why some people don't get to where they want is because here it is. It's their moment, it's their time. The leader's passing the baton, and they're scared. Like, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. I'm scared. I never done this before. So number one, leadership is grabbing the baton. But then once you have the baton, you run. But you don't run forever. And the next step after you have the baton is to do what? Pass it to somebody else. But here's what happens. In the beginning, so many of us are scared to grab the baton. Now when we finally grab the baton, we have those results that we dreamed of. And we don't move forward because we're scared to give it up. We're scared to give it to somebody else. And we hold on to that baton while somebody's waiting to get the baton. And the next step is to pass it. And that's leadership. It's continually paying forward. It's giving, giving, giving. This business is a lot like tennis. The person that serves the best is going to be the person that makes the most money. Because why? Because the person that makes the most money is the person that adds the most value. It's the person that creates the most significance. So it's a process. You got to welcome that. It takes time to develop leaders. It takes time to become a leader. For your notes, if it's easy, it's probably not worth it. And if it's worth it, it won't be easy. That's true in success, and that's true in relationships. That's true in everything. So sorting for leaders. How do you sort for leaders? Right? Leaders have character. That's the bottom line. Leaders have character. Leaders are honest. Leaders are sincere. Leaders are loyal. Leaders are caring. You know who leaders are loyal to the most? To their people. Because here's what me and Dennis and Fran understand. And all the leaders in this room understand. That at the end of the day, no matter how great we are nothing without our people. So if we know we are nothing without our people, guess what we focus on taking care of? Our people. Because if our people are taken care of, who's taken care of? Ourselves. And I'm not here to get all religious on you, but Jesus is known as the head of the church. And Jesus' body is what? The church. The head takes care of the body. The leader takes care of its people. And guess what? You do the same thing for your people. That's what it's about. Leaders are selfless. Well, guess what? The wrong people lack character. The wrong people are selfish. The wrong people are dishonest. The wrong people, guess what? Cares about themselves. The leaders are negative. And it's crazy, and I talk a lot about Dennis, and I love to do this. Every time I go to a marketplace, I pay so much attention, and I love to give credit where credit is due. And when Dennis came to do the regional event for us in California, he shared something with me. And I never thought about it. I mean, I realized it, but he put it in ways I never heard it said before. And he says the wrong thing about network marketing is most people think it's about recruiting everybody. But it's not. It's about showing it to the right people. You want to show it to everybody, but you want to make sure the people that you show it to are the right people. How many of you want to know how to distinguish whether they're the right people in your business or not by show of hands? Yeah. You know what Dennis said to me? Or he didn't say it to me. I felt like he was talking to me. Because I sit down and train, I just feel like it's a one-on-one conversation because I get more out of it, right? Dennis says, I would never sign up anybody. I would never sign up a leader, a networker, or a person if I can't honestly say that I would trust my kids with them. If you can't trust your own kids with that person to watch your kids, take care of your kids, why would you want them in your business? It only takes one apple to spoil the what? Bunch. It's not about getting people into your business, it's about getting the right people into your business. And the right people have character. And I'm telling you, man, you guys are lucky. Can we have a round of applause for Mr. Dennis Villaran and Mr. And here's the deal, though. I want to share this with you guys. Don't take them for granted. Because why? Because when you see someone so much, when they're around so much, like Alan's done so much and he's become your friend. But here's the deal. Don't forget who they are. Because they say that a prophet's never preached in their own land, and an artist is never preached in their own time. And it's funny because I know some of the leaders experience this, Alan and all the other leaders. You would say something to your team, and then somebody else would come in and say the exact same thing, like, oh my God, that makes so much sense, I knew it. Why didn't you tell me that, bro? And because we get too comfortable, we got to understand that. We have to respect them. Be the friend, but understand that there are leaders. Understand the value they have to offer. And again, this conversation, this training is not for everybody. This training is only for the ones that are serious, that have the bigger vision, that want to go out there and build the forest. It's crazy because some people come into our meetings, they come into our presentations, they laugh at what we do. They laugh at us, like, oh, this is corny, this is lame. But at the end of the day, you're going to walk out not doing this, you're going to not walk out not being a part of this. Why would you laugh at us? Because at the end of the day, me and Dennis are going to be okay.
That's right.
Me and Dennis are always going to live a great life. And here's what's crazy. The ones that do lock arms with us, they're going to even live a great life too. Mm-hmm. So it's sad when people laugh at us. Because I laugh at them. I was like, man, if you only knew. If you only knew. You know, I told my friends 5 years ago that got started network marketing with me, I told them, hey, lock arms with me. I might not be the greatest leader. I might not be the best leader, but I'm not going to quit. We're going to make this thing happen. And if you lock arms with me, I don't care how long it's going to take. We're going to figure this thing out. And guess what? They quit. I met people, and they're like, what do you do? They saw my ring. That's a nice ring. Or that's a nice car, right? Or those are nice shoes, or whatever it is. It's like, what do you do? You're so young. I'm like, I do Seacret. They're like, dude, I joined Seacret, and I quit. I'm like, I didn't. That's the only difference. While they quit, I didn't. That was the only difference. While my friends quit network marketing, I didn't. Here's what's scary. 5 years ago, those friends quit. Now they rejoined my business. And I asked them, what have you been up to? You know what they said? Man, remember I told you I was working at Olive Garden? I was still working there. Here's what's scary. The friends that you show this business to, they might laugh at you today. But you're the guinea pig, because once you make it and you come back for them, guess what? They're going to be exactly where you left them.
Yeah.
So that's why when people laugh, I don't care. I don't care. I used to care. But then I realized the reason why people don't succeed is because they care too much about what other people think. And what I learned is the ones that mind don't matter, and the ones that matter don't mind.
That's right. That's right.
So it's just crazy. Leaders enroll into the vision. Vision's important. People buy into your vision, not your goals, but your vision. So leaders talk about vision. So enroll your leaders. How do you do that? Take more than just a business interest in your future leaders. But how do you do that? You spend time with them. You build a relationship with them. You find out their goals, their dreams. You find out their whys. You find out what makes them tick. You find out their commitment, why they're doing this business. So you make a commitment to them. Not only do they understand why they're doing it, but you understand why they're doing it. And you know what happens? That fuels you. That becomes your energy. That when you feel tired, like, man, I can't be tired because this person's working to save his mom, working to save his dad, retire his wife, retire his kids. This person's going out there to do this, do this, do that. If I don't give it my best, I'm letting them down. So spend time with them. Get to know them. And care about them like family. Because people will quit on business, but they won't quit on family. They won't quit on relationships. So that's what we got to do. Like I said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And in closing, here's what I want to share with you, ladies and gentlemen. What do we need to do? We need to become leaders. We need to make the decision right now that we're going to work on our timetable and that we're going to go out there, we're going to make it happen, that we got to learn and do it all. See, the secret to success is to do your best until you know better. And once you know better, guess what you do? You do your best. Until what? You know better. And once you know better, guess what you do? You do your best. And here's what's even crazier. Some of you think you're giving it all that you got, but you don't. You're more capable than what you believe. You sell yourself short. See, me and Dennis, the reason why we believe so much in each and every one of you is because we've been there. We've been where you're at. We've been there. And because we made it, we know we are able to recognize what people have, the qualities, the gifts, the talents, the heart. That when we see people, we're like, man, you're way sharper than I was when I got started. If I can make it, you can make it. And you might not believe it yet because you look at you, but I'm telling you, you are capable of way more than you even think. And you sell yourself short. Some of you think you're giving it your best, and you're not. I can prove it to you right now that you sell yourself short and you're not giving your best. Really quickly, everybody raise your hand. Raise your hand as high as you can. Raise your hand as high as you can. Raise your hand as high as you can. Guess what? Raise a little bit higher. Raise a little bit higher. What happened? The first time I asked you, what did I ask you? Raise it as high as you can. If you raise it as high as you can, what does that mean? That means it's impossible to raise it any higher. So what I just said, raise it as high as you can. Then what did I say? Raise a little bit higher. What did you do? You raised a little bit higher. That's what success is. Success is about stretching a little bit more than you thought was possible. And sometimes, you know what it takes? It takes somebody else to step into your life and tell you you can reach a little bit higher, and that's all you got to do. Do your best till you know better, and once you know better, give it your best and continue to stretch, and you'll never know how far you can go until you go too far. That's all it is. And that's what it takes to become a leader. I know that's not a course on Seacret University, but I wanted to share with each and every one of you because right now, the moment of time we have right here in Seacret, will never be recreated again. And I have friends in this room, when I say this, Dennis will say this, what we're telling you we're going to do with Houston, putting it on the map, not only have we done it in Seacret, but we've done it in other companies. The organization that I started in Houston is still standing today. And in that organization, the number one organization is the one that I started and I trained. So when I tell you, when Dennis tells you that we're going to put Houston on the map, that we're going to dominate, that we're going to take over, that we're going to enrich and add value to so many lives, it is not theory. It's something we've already done, and we've done it, and done it, and done it, and we're pretty dang good at it. I don't know if you checked lately, but on the scoreboard, Dennis is number 1, I'm number 2, and we have both of us in Houston right now. So Dennis better watch out. I just got to work on getting a little bit muscular, and then maybe I'll... But I'm telling you, it's about to happen. You can feel it. I know right now you came in here. Today, you're like, man, something's different. I know, I always go to Seacret University, but something's different about today. And that's why, because today you realize something that's going to change your life. And here's what I know. Tomorrow when you wake up, it'll be the first day of the rest of your life. Tomorrow you wake up with a little more confidence, a little bit more excitement. Tomorrow when you talk to people, when you meet your people, you're going to have a little bit more conviction. Because guess what? Now that you know, once you become aware, that is the first step of change and progress.
That's right.
I'm here to share with you. Look, each and every one of you, you have it. You have it. But it doesn't matter what we say. It doesn't matter what Dennis says. What matters is what you see into yourself. Don't care what anybody else says, because guess what? They're not going to pay your bills. You are. You're going to take care of your family. You do what's right for you, and you give it your best. And guess what? If you give it your best 100% of the time, you'll find out that everything works out 100% of the time. That's it. Have faith. That's it. And we have major events coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Isaac Benchobot. It's about building from event to event. Build from Seacret University to Seacret University. And let's have 200 to 300 people here from Mr. Isaac Benchobot. Can we do that? Yeah. Here's the deal. Let's not have 200 to 300 people for Isaac Benchobot. Let's have so many promotions than he's ever seen. Let's promote more superstars, more bronzes, more royales, silvers, and golds, and platinums than we ever had in Houston, Texas. How many of you guys are with me? Yeah! How many are you with me to make Houston, Texas number 1 in the whole entire company?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Now I know some of the whales are like, all the sharks are like, yeah, let's do it, right? All the reds are like, yeah, win. All the blues are like, yeah, we're gonna get recognition. We're gonna be the best. Woo, everybody's gonna know who we are. And I want to talk to all the yellows and all the whales real quick, okay? You're like, oh my God, it got scary all of a sudden. Competition. No, it's okay. We need to win to help people. You're like, how are we gonna help people when we beat them? Because they learn more from losing than they did from winning. So we need to give them that gift. Are you okay with that? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming down. We appreciate your time. We love you. God bless. Get your regional tickets. Circle up with your teams. Let's go out there. Let's make it #1. So thank you guys for coming down. Let's check it out.